Book 13. Book 13 of the Iliad. Poseidon helps the Achaeans with the feats of Idomeneus, Hector at the ships. Now, when Zeus had thus brought Hector and the Trojans to the ships, he left them to their never-ending toil, and turned his keen eyes away, looking elsewhither towards the horse-readers of Thrace, the Mysians fighters at close quarters, the noble Hippomolchi who live on milk, and the Avians, justice of mankind. He no longer turned so much as a glance towards Troy, for he did not think that any of the immortals would go and help either Trojans or Danaans. But King Poseidon had kept no blind lookout. He had been looking admiringly on the battle from his seat on the topmost crest of the wooded Samothrace, whence he could see all Ida with the city of Priam and the ships of the Achaeans. He had come from under the sea and taken his place here, for he pitied the Achaeans, who were being overcome by the Trojans, and he was furiously angry with Zeus. Presently he came down from his post on the mountaintop, and as he strode swiftly onwards, the high hills and the forest quaked beneath the tread of his immortal feet. 3 strides he took, and with the 4th he reached his goal, Iliad, where is his glittering golden palace, imperishable in the depths of the sea. When he got there, he yoked his fleet brazen-footed steeds, with their manes of gold all flying in the wind. He clothed himself in raiment of gold, grasped his gold whip, and took his strand upon his chariot. As he went his way over the waves, the sea monsters left their lairs, for they knew their lord, and came gambolling round him from every quarter of the deep, while the sea in her gladness opened a path before his chariot. So lightly did the horses fly that the bronze axle of the car was not even wet beneath it, and thus his bounding steeds took him to the ships of the Achaeans. Now there is a certain huge cavern in the depths of the sea, midway between Xenodos and rocky Imbrus. Here Poseidon, lord of the earthquake, stayed his horses unyoked to them, and set before them their ambrosial forage. He hobbled their feet with hobbles of gold, which now could either unloose or break, so that they might stay there in that place until their lord should return. This done, he went his way to the host of the Achaeans. Now the Trojans followed Hector, son of Priam, in close array, like a storm cloud or flame cloud of fire, fighting with might and main, and raising the cry of battle, for they deemed that they should take the ships of the Achaeans and kill all their chiefest heroes then and there. Meanwhile, earth-encircling Poseidon, lord of the earthquake, cheered on the Argives, for he had come up out of the sea, and had assumed the form and voice of Calchas. First he spoke to the 2 Ajaxes, who were doing their best already, and said, Ajaxes, you 2 can be saving of the Achaeans. If you will put out all your strength and not let yourselves be daunted, I am not afraid that the Trojans who have got over the wall in force will be victorious in any other part, for the Achaeans can hold all of them in check. But I much fear that some evil will befall us here, where furious Hector, who owes himself the son of great Zeus himself, is leading them on like a pillar of flame. May some god then put it into your hearts to make a firm stand here, and to incite others to do the like. In this case you will drive him from the ships, even though he be inspired by Zeus himself. As he spoke, the earth-encircling lord of the earthquake struck both of them with the scepter, and filled their hearts with daring. He made their legs light and active, as also their hands and their feet. Then, as a soaring falcon poises on the wing high above some sheer rock, and presently swoops down to chase some bird over the plain, even so did Poseidon, lord of the earthquake, wing his flight into the air and leave them. Of the 2, swift Ajax, son of Oileus, was the first to know who it was that had been speaking with them, and said to Ajax, son of Telamon, Ajax, this is one of the gods that dwell on Olympus, who is likeness of the prophet, is bidding us fight hard by our ships. It was not Calchas, the seer and diviner of omens. I knew him at once by his feet and knees as he turned away, for the gods are soon recognized. Moreover, I feel the lust of battle burn more fiercely within me, while my hands and my feet under me are more eager for the fray. And Ajax, son of Telamon, answered, I too feel my hands grasp my spear more firmly. My strength is greater, and my feet more nimble. I long moreover to meet furious Hector, son of Priam, even in single combat. Thus did they converse, exulting in the hunger after battle, which the god had filled them. Meanwhile the earth-encircler roused the Achaeans, who were resting in the rear by the ships, overcome at once by hard fighting and by grief, at seeing that the Trojans had got over the wall in force. Tears began falling from their eyes as they beheld them, for they made sure that they should not escape destruction. But the lord of the earthquake passed lightly about among them and urged their battalions to the front. First he went up to Teucer, and Leotus, the hero of Penelus, and Thoas, and Dapirius, Meranes, also Antilochus, valiant warriors, all did he exhort. Shame on you, young Argives, he cried. It was on your prowess I relied for the saving of our ships. If you fight not with might and main, this very day will see us overcome by the Trojans. Of a truth my eyes behold a great and terrible portent, which I had never thought to see. The Trojans and our ships, they who were heretofore like panic-stricken hinds, the prey of jackals and wolves in a forest, with no strength but in flight, for they cannot defend themselves. Hitherto the Trojans dared not for one moment face an attack of the Achaeans, but now they have sallied far from their city, and are fighting at our very ships, through the cowardice of our leader and the disaffection of the people themselves, who in their discontent cares not to fight in defense of the ships that are being slaughtered near them. True, King Agamemnon, son of Atreus, is the cause of our disaster by having insulted the son of Peleus. Still, this is no reason why we should leave off fighting. Let us be quick to heal, for the hearts of the brave heal quickly. You do ill to be thus remiss, you who are the finest soldiers in our whole army. I blame no man for keeping out of the battle if he is a weakling, but I am indignant with such men as you are. My good friends, matters will soon become even worse through this slackness. Think each one of you of his own honor and credit, for the hazard of the fight is extreme.